past weekend, the Upper Peninsula Sportsmen's Alliance met for their annual winter meeting.
I am concerned that our government is not the government it's supposed to be, and that should concern all of us.
Tonight, we'll also hear from State Senator Tom Casperson. So stick around. It's Monday night, a tradition for over 30 years. Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone, forests thick and healthy, these are what I treasure. The only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
The Great Lakes Sport and Recreation Club in Escanaba was the location for the Upper Peninsula Sportsmen's Alliance's winter meeting. Now, the meeting began with a notification that Secretary Rory Mattson would be resigning his post later on this year.
Dale's heard it too. People don't like me because I'm in UPSA going on Moore's show. Well, sorry. I'm not changing my direction. Things got to be changed in this state, and I'm not playing nicey-nicey with the Department of Natural Resources anymore until they change. And that's just me.
And I've seen the DNR come in here, and I've seen them try to hijack our meeting. And I would like to thank Dale and Rory for all the work they've done, and just to say that we need somebody, regardless who it is, they need to stick up. To the DNR, you're going to get anything unless you can voice our opinions, and the only place that we can voice our opinions is here, because I've been in those DNR committees. I was on the agenda to speak numerous times, and it doesn't happen if the DNR doesn't want it to happen.
I keep telling you, you got to get out of the boat, you got to get out of the tree, you got to do something. We're not asking you to spend thousands of hours. We're telling you to start getting involved and taking a stand. Because if you don't, I'll guarantee you, the Nature Conservancy, the Sierra Club, we can go on and on with the names, have been laying the groundwork for 40 years. And I have right here a list that I scratched down. People who put out the Michigan Wildlife Plan. Besides the DNR, Nature Conservancy, Sierra Club, Ducks Unlimited, you will not find on here one sport group. They laid out the Michigan Wildlife Plan. Rory was with me. We went to a meeting for the Michigan Wildlife Plan and bad cold winter night. 6 people represented there. 6 people were making a decision for you guys. You want that? You better go back to your groups. You better start talking to them. You better start getting proactive.
If I don't have the backing in the sportsman arena, if I don't have your backing, then I'm kind of barking up the wrong tree, because I'm not doing what the industry, in this case, the sportsmen, want. And I deal with a lot of other things. It's not just sportsmen, but for me, that's an important issue. And that's kind of who I am. Why am I bringing all that up? Because for the last year, when I went into the office, I went down there and made a point of it with my leadership. I want natural resources. I want to be the chairman of natural resources, because it is who we are up here. If we can't use our natural resources, we're done. Our economy's done up here. Our way of life will be done up here. And it's just not going to be the same. And I guess we'll all live on love or something, because there's nothing left. So leadership was gracious enough at the end of the day. They said, you're the guy. We're going to give you that. I heard a voicemail that was sent to the Senate Majority Leader. He let me listen to it. And right out of the gate, I hadn't said one word. I hadn't been the chairman yet. I hadn't started a meeting. I hadn't made a proposal. And the head of the department was trying to stop me from becoming the Natural Resources chairman. There's a reason for that. And why would a chairman go to that level? I take it back, not chairman, director. Why would a director go to that level to stop somebody from becoming the chairman of the Natural Resources Committee? Everything I'm going to be doing is going to be done out in the public. I have to come to you. I have to come to, you're going to know exactly what I'm doing. If I run legislation, if I take a stand on anything, I will be judged by you. And at the end of the day, come November of 2014, I will have to account to you, and you'll hold me accountable. You'll hold me accountable at the ballot box. So I have no problem with the fact that I have to do that. That's the way it should be. But why would a director go out of their way to stop me from being a part of that? Now, I want you to know that because I went into that knowing that. So I started out for at least 7 months. You didn't hear a lot coming out of me. I did more meetings. I tried to listen. I did not get in the face of anybody to speak of. The only thing I did was the day I went in and met with then the new director, because I was actually given the chairmanship before we knew who the new director of the DNR was going to be. But I met with the various directors, Department of Ag, Department of DEQ, DNR, Department of Transportation. I chair transportation, have a great relationship with most of those people. But I shared with them, there was one thing for me that was important to me. The idea of the meeting was to discuss what's important to us, what we'd like to see happen, where we'd like to go. Both sides. They have that open dialogue. So I told them I had one thing that for me was utmost important, and if that didn't happen, for me, the issue was over. In other words, the department had no standing with me if this didn't happen. So they asked me what that was. I said, I only ask that you tell me the truth, and that you tell me both sides of the story, and that at the end of the day, as long as that's happening, we're going to work together just fine. But I also told them, if I find out you lied to me, it's over. Your issue's over with me. You're done. That was the only thing I asked. For 7 months, I stayed neutral. I stayed somewhat quiet. What did the department do? Well, if you go look at the makeup right now and how it's unfolding, what they did is they went over to the house. Literally went over to the house and started working with my counterpart over in the house. Not only working with him, but his staff. What do you think that might be for? I can't prove it. I can't sit here and tell you, well, they're influencing him. But I'm human. You see that on a steady diet, you got to put the connection together. So what's been happening? Okay, after 7 months, he said, enough's enough. We're going to start moving forward. You're not really talking to us. You're not really sharing intel with us. You're kind of doing your own thing. Well, they really weren't, I don't think, doing their own thing. I think they were sharing intel. One side, the House, where they thought they had an in. And now when I say the House, I don't mean all the legislature. The way you do this is through committees. If you can block something in a committee, it doesn't see the light of day. So it's very simple. You narrow it down to a few legislators and you zoom in on that particular arena. So that's what I see unfolding right now. So after 7 months, I finally started doing something. I started kicking it up. And one of the reasons I did was because one of the issues that was passionate to me was the horse issue. Not because I'm a horse rider. I don't ride horses. Don't own a horse. I'm a truck driver. What made me passionate about that issue was we were not told the truth. And policy was put in place to regulate those folks based on a foundation that wasn't true. And guys, people sat back and let that happen. And said, well, you know what I'm hearing now? We need to move on. Let's not dwell on the past. Let's move on. Guys, I don't know how many of you, I assume most of you in here are parents. I've got 4 kids. If my kids lie to me and I find out about it, and then my kids and their friends suggest to me, Dad, we need to just move on. And that's what I do. What do you think I'm going to get out of my kids? Do you think for 1 minute my kids will be good kids and straightened out and they'll love their dad and everything? I'm going to tell you right now, what I would create is monsters, because I'm going to get more of the same. So we keep doing this.